noticed there was something that this guy was kind of a little bit off on. And so one of the older pastors told this young guy, hey, I think you're a little bit off on something. And the young pastor stopped. He looked at him, and he goes, thank you. You just gave me a gift. You just showed me something I need to work on and grow on. That is wisdom. And that young pastor is very, very successful because of that principle. So what do you do? What do you do with wise people when you have a wise person in your life? Here's what you do. You keep talking about the problems. You keep talking. You keep showing things. You keep talking about growth and maturity and development because they're like, I want to hear more. Show me where I'm wrong some more. Husbands, tell this to your wife tonight. She'll have a heart attack. Show me where I'm wrong some more today, babe. Where's my husband? You keep talking to the wise person because they want solutions. They want to grow. They want to develop. They want to be more like Jesus. Guys, this whole thing is about being more like Jesus. And when someone shows us an area where we're not like Jesus, Lord, show me. Show me where I need to be more like Jesus. Process life together with this person. Talk to them more about stuff and grow with them. Keep giving feedback to one another. Build that relationship. Pursue wise people in your life. It's good. I'll give you some examples. There's a manager tells an employee, I notice you interrupt people in meetings. It's making the team meetings uncomfortable. Now, how would you respond if your boss told you that during a team time? Wise response, wow, I had no idea I was doing that. Thank you for telling me. That must have been awkward to bring up. I can tell that it's a little awkward for you to say that, but thank you. I'll work on that. Or, can you help me understand what it looks like when I do this? I want to make sure I catch myself. Or how about following up later? I've been working on listening more in meetings. How am I doing? Now, that's a wise worker who does that. In marriage, here we go. A spouse says, when you check your phone during our conversations, I feel like you don't value what I'm saying. Is anybody sharpening their elbow on that one? Wise response, married couples. You're right. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful. I didn't realize how that looked. Thank you for telling me instead of getting resentful. Or actually start making the changes and put the phone in the other room during dinner conversations. Here's a parenting example of wisdom. A child says to his dad, Dad, when you yell, it makes me want to shut down and not tell you anything. Wise person takes a breath. You know what? You're right. I'm sorry I raised my voice, son. The issue may be true, what I want to talk to you, but the way I did it may not be. It takes courage to tell me that, son. I want you to feel safe talking to me. Or help me understand how you feel. And how can I help you feel more comfortable when you come to me with problems? So that's a snapshot of the wise person. But not all of us do that. And I tell you, I'm working on it. You can ask my wife. She'll tell you he's working on it. The next one is the foolish behavior. What does foolish behavior look like? And I think I spent probably most of my 20s and 30s in this realm of reality. Because when truth comes to a fool, they don't adjust to the light. They try to adjust the light. They try to minimize, they try to avoid truth. They don't want truth. Proverbs 9:7 puts it this way: he who corrects a scoffer gets dishonor for himself, and he who reproves a wicked man gets insults for himself. You see, because when you go to a foolish person, a person who's being foolish, and you try to correct them, they'll attack you. They'll hurt you. They'll respond. They'll be defensive. They'll get angry. Proverbs 19:19, a man of great anger will bear the penalty, for if you rescue him, you'll only have to do it again. Have you ever been the guy on you're calling customer support, and they don't understand half a word you're saying, and you get frustrated. I mean, one time I was doing customer support with somebody, and Trish was just like, John David, that's not very Christian of you. The way you talk to that, that's a person still. Ooh, ouch. Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So what happens when somebody's being foolish, when I'm foolish, when you're foolish, we get, there's certain characteristics. One of them is just defensiveness. You respond in a defensive way. You minimize the issue. Whatever the person is saying, no, I didn't really do that. I wasn't being mean to that person from India that didn't understand a word I said. I was fine. It's their problem. Or you invalidate that person. That's just not true. Or you blame the circumstances. It's just, it's because Trump's the president, because Obama's the president, right? We externalize it and don't take any reception inwardly. Or you turn on the messenger. Well, you were yelling at somebody the other day too, right? Does that validate me yelling at that person? No. I can't justify my yelling at somebody because my wife yells at somebody, right? I got to own my yelling. She's got to own hers. But then we externalize it, we gaslight it, someone else. So the principle here is when you try to rebuke a foolish person, they will turn on you. They will mock you for it. And they will hate you. So what you don't do with this person, what you don't do is you don't keep trying to fix the problem or talking, giving them feedback about the problem. Because what happens is you tell them once, you're crazy. Tell them the next time, no, it was the weather. Tell them the next time, some other excuse. And you've told somebody the same thing 20 times. They're not getting it. They don't want to get it. So what you do, and don't expect different results from the same approach. Let's just keep talking about it. Let's just keep talking about it. Let's just keep talking about it. Talking about it isn't working. So what you do, what you are to do, don't give more feedback about the problem. They're not listening. You've told them 20 times. Move to limits and consequences. So, okay, John David, you always scream at the person on the phone. Guess what? I'll make the calls next time. You are forbidden from taking customer response calls because you always scream at somebody. So, John David, I'll make the calls. You can't make the calls anymore. I'm not going to have you do any customer calls. You have to have limits, consequences. You got to have a different conversation. Because now the conversation isn't, well, you keep on yelling at the customer service people. The real conversation is, how come you don't listen to feedback? How come there's no even inquiry in your heart to look at the feedback that you're being given? That's another problem. So you have to make boundaries. Look, if there isn't change that's going to happen, X is going to happen. I'm going to limit my exposure to this behavior. One time when we were in Bolivia, I was a little kid, 6 years old. Anybody have a 6-year-old? I saw a 6-year-old kid at a Chinese restaurant the other day, and this little kid was a talker. He goes, you know why my mommy gets mad at me all the time? Why? Because I always give her the finger. Out of the blue, this kid, 6-year-olds are like truth tellers, right? Like, I'm a stranger, and he's talking to me about that. That was crazy. So anyway, I used to be a 6-year-old, and when I was a 6-year-old, we lived in Bolivia, and there was a hippie that drove a bus, like a Volkswagen van, from like California to Bolivia. And he was a hippie, and he kind of fell in love with my mom. And the problem was, my mom was married. So he would always come by the house and invite himself over. And so he would make these big salads. I remember him because he made these huge salads and I hated them. I wanted steak. I used to call the United States the United Steaks because I love steak so much. So this hippie would keep on coming over. And one day he comes over, and my mom and my sister, my mom hides because she don't want to see this guy because he's trying to flirt with her and get her attention and all this. So she's like, I'm going to go hide. So she goes and hides, and me and my sister open the door. And I heard all the conversation. I know my mom's hiding and all this. And so the guy comes up and he goes, hi, is Jane there? And my sister goes, no, she's not here. She's doing something else. She's not here. And then I look up to her and said, that's not true, Diane. She's in the closet hiding because she doesn't want to see you. I told the guy the truth. It hurt. That was a boundary my mother should have set. She didn't know how to set it. So she went hiding instead. And sometimes we need to learn to just say, hey, stop calling me. Hey, I'm not going to answer your questions. Hey, I can't do that anymore. Hey, I'm enough with this situation. I can't do it anymore. It's not going to happen. I love you. I don't hate you. But I need to grow, and this is not helpful, so I'm not going to do this. We have to draw boundaries. You can't come see my mom. She's married. There's a boundary there, Mr. Hippie. So you have to do boundaries. And the deal with it is God calls us to follow Matthew 18. If your brother sins, go and tell him. Show him his fault in private. If he listens to you, you've won your brother over. If he doesn't listen to you, take one or more with you, so that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every fact can be confirmed. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church. And if he refuses to listen even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile or tax collector. Basically, Jesus says, draw boundaries. If someone's not listening, you can't make them. I know parents, this is a big gut wrencher, because sometimes your kids aren't listening to God, and you're like, I want you to listen to God, but you're not. Or friends, or family relatives. Go to privately, bring others, and if there's no response, maybe there's a boundary that has to be made. Now, sometimes foolish behavior isn't from pride or not wanting to listen. Sometimes people are just hurt. And I liken it to a firefighter trying to get a cat that's stuck in a tree. Have you ever seen a scaredy cat stuck in a tree? And those firefighters have to put on like triple layer leather gloves to grab the cat. Because that cat is not happy. It's wounded, it's hurt, it's scared. And you try to grab it. You're not bringing that cat down. But if it's wounded, it has to come down, and you have to kind of put on the layers and try to help it down. It's hurt. Sometimes we're hurt. And we have to come to people with empathy. And then let's give you some examples of foolish behavior. Examples of defensiveness, truth-avoiding responses. So your manager addresses you, you're interrupting behavior again. The wise response was, remember that? What was it? The wise response, your manager addresses your interrupting behavior. Thank you, manager. That's something I need to work on. I see that. Thank you very much for telling me. Here's the foolish response. I wasn't interrupting. I was just trying to help things move along. Well, if people spoke up more clearly, I wouldn't have to jump in. Or that's just me. That's just how I communicate. Some people are just too sensitive. Or you should talk to Sarah about her interrupting. She's worse than me. Why aren't you talking to her? Okay, all of those are not taking responsibility. It's putting it away. Here's an example in marriage. Don't do this. Don't do this. Spouse addresses the phone checking. I wasn't ignoring you. I was listening. I could multitask, right? Men can multitask. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Or, this is important work stuff. You should understand, I need to take this call. Like, it can wait till after dinner, folks. There's no emergency too big that can wait till after dinner. Or you're just being too needy. I can't give you 24/7 attention. Do I look like a vending machine, just there for you always? Or, well, maybe if our conversations were more interesting, I wouldn't need to check my phone all the time. Ouch. Foolish there. Yeah, plan the funeral. Or your friend, you're talking to a friend and say, man, you're always late. It makes me feel like time doesn't matter to you. The foolish response, I'm not always late. That's just an exaggeration. Traffic was terrible. It's not my fault. You know I'm no good with time. That's just how I am. Or you're always early. That's your problem, not mine. Like, these are all ways of just avoiding responsibility. If you're always late, say, thank you, I need to work on that. Please forgive me for being late, for wasting your time. That's the wise response, is the foolish. Okay, lastly, there's evil behavior. And we do this when we're hurt usually, and we respond with hurt. There's a famous saying that says, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. You're hurt, you want to cause hurt sometimes. And so some folks in life, when you come to them with things about change or development or growth, they get defensive, but not just foolish. They get angry and they get hurt, and it can turn into evil behavior. The motive is to hurt. They don't want to reconcile. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to fix things. They want to hurt. And the sad thing is, in life, there are people that you're going to run into throughout your life that are like that. They don't want to fix it. They're not telling you about your hair because they want to fix it. They're trying to jab you. It's an attack. Proverbs 22:3 says this, the prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the naive go on and are punished for it. The prudent people go, hey, there's something not right here. I see something brewing here. I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to remove myself from the presence of evil. Jesus said in Matthew 7:6, don't throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. You ever had that defensive mechanism where you try to correct somebody and then they turn on you? And then it's about you. Not about them being corrected, it's about you. That happens sometimes. So the characteristics of this person, when you and I are being evil, we want to harm people. There's intent there. We want harm. There's destructive strategies. There's things that people start doing to destroy. Or they might just threaten you and intimidate you. They say, if you keep this up, I'm going to. And they're not drawing boundaries. This is an attack, not a boundary. So the biblical principle is hide yourself from this. Protect yourself. So what do you do when someone turns evil in your life? Very often this happens at divorce time. When divorces are on and people are ready to divorce, the fangs come out. And let's not play nice. Let's lawyer up and let's start attacking each other. And this is tough. This is hard stuff because we can all be there. So when you see someone in your life that starts turning into this enemy in a sense, and we know it's not them, the enemy is Satan, but they get caught up in lies, protect yourself, right? You probably don't want to have a lot of conversations there because it's negative usually. You don't set limits in this situation. You escape the danger. And then you do what Henry Cloud says. You got to hire lawyers, you got to get guns, and you got to get some money. And what he means by that is you might have to get some legal protection. Like, have you ever been in a job where somebody gets bitter and angry and they destroy the company? And there's been situations where the companies, like that whole thing with, I don't know who the actress is and the actor, they start Baldoni or something like that. I don't know if anybody, there was these two actors doing a movie together, and they just turned evil on each other, and they had to get lawyers to try to fight for control over this movie that they produced and who's going to get all the money. And then they started attacking each other's character publicly all over Hollywood. It was a mess. You got to get legal protection, sometimes restraining orders. Like, this person cannot be around me. They are seeking to destroy. Sometimes you need physical protection. Like, if there's domestic violence and abuse going on, you got to get some protection there. You might need to call the police and say, hey, there is physical damage being threatened here. I need help. Or you throw money at the problem. You have to buy lawyers or figure it out or come to settlements or whatever. So these are the things that happen. When you look at evil behavior, let's look at some examples of the intentionally destructive thing. Let's go to a workplace example. HR addresses harassment complaints. There's somebody at work harassing another person. And the response is, well, if you pursue this, I'll make sure you never work in this industry again. Ever seen anybody do something like that? Some of you guys are nodding your heads. Like, they threaten you. Retaliates or spreading false rumors about the complaint. Oh yeah, well, I'm going to say this. Or I have photos of you at the Christmas party and you wouldn't want your spouse to see those photos. Like, that's just evil when somebody starts doing that kind of stuff. Or deliberately sabotage a person's projects or reputation. All of that is in the realm of evil behavior. And when somebody turns into that, we got to protect ourselves. You have to be careful. Or maybe a partner addressing controlling behavior. You know, there's a manipulative partner, they're married, and you would try to address it, and the person responds, well, if you leave me, I'll make sure you never see the kids again. That's just evil. That's not wise, and that's not foolish. That's just evil intent. Or I know where you work. I know where your family lives. Or they threaten to hurt themselves. If you don't stop bringing this up, I might do something drastic. I might, you might find me dead. All of that is control, manipulation. Or another one, I'll ruin your credit and make sure you have nothing. Or someone, let's say, we'll do a social media example. Someone corrects a false information in a post. Someone fact checks you. And your response, you dox them, which is basically sharing their personal information publicly so that other people can do stuff with that information. Or I'll make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. Or I'll create fake accounts to harass that person. Or I'll threaten to contact their employer or family with lies. All of this is evil behavior. It's destructive. So, we talked about 3 kinds of people. The wise person who accepts and listens and wants to grow and is humble. The foolish person who deflects, who does not want to hear truth, who runs from it, who denies it, who excuses it. And then the foolish person who just accepts evil and lives in it. The evil person, they accept evil and they live in it. They're going to go do bad stuff. So, question for yourself. Application. Are you open to feedback? Maybe that's a good prayer. Lord, help me be open to all people when they come to me with any kind of correction or instruction or discipline. Help me to be open to that. Ask people close to you. This is a hard question, but I'll give it to you anyway. Wives, give this one to your husband. Husband, give this one to your wives. Friends, you can do it with each other too, friends. What's it like to be on the other side of me? What's it like to live with me in the room? What does it look like? How do you experience me? And be willing to receive difficult feedback. It's hard to do. It's humbling to do, but it's good to do. Check for your own defensiveness or woundedness. Just ask yourself, Lord, search my heart. Is there something in me that's wounded, that's defensive, that I can't receive what people are trying to tell me? And then if you're in a relationship, it's good to know who you're dealing with. Like, you can tell pretty quickly if somebody, a new friend that you have maybe, You can tell pretty quickly how quickly they respond to feedback or correction or any kind of, when somebody says something they don't like or agree with. A wise person will go, that's an interesting perspective. I never thought about that. So identify the behavior pattern you're encountering and adjust your approach accordingly. You can't use the same strategy for all three people. So remember, healthy boundaries. Wise people, invest deeply in them. Process life with them together. Seek them out. Hang out with them. Foolish behavior, set limits, use consequences, be clear. And then evil behavior, you protect yourself. Seek help. Find help to keep the evil behavior from destroying. I know this is a hard, tough sermon. It's hard to hear. If you're wise, you go, oh, yes, I need to hear this. Don't be a fool. Don't be evil. Seek the Lord. Ask for good wisdom from people around you. Pray for strength to deal redemptively with all types of people. Seek wisdom on how to approach people. And let God's word guide you through these things. Because God's word is the owner's manual for life. This is how we do life. We seek what God says. So, all right, everyone who's wise, stand up. I'm joking. I'm not going to do that. All you evil people, stand up. Stand up. No, we're all, like I said at the beginning, we're all one of any of these at any given time. So let's go to the Lord and pray. Jesus, you are in the process of transforming us to be like you. And Father, sometimes that is a hard process. Sometimes we're wise and we receive correction that changes us to be like you. Sometimes, Lord, I don't. I don't want to hear it, Lord. I want to stay in my ways rather than letting you be the way. You said you are the way, the truth, and the life. And sometimes, Lord, I don't want the truth and I don't want your way. I want my way. Lord, correct me when I'm foolish. Help us when we're foolish to hear your word and listen and obey. And Father, when we are so hurt, we want to take retaliation. We want to hurt somebody. Father, forgive us and create in us a clean heart, oh God. Renew a right spirit in us. Keep us, Lord, from harmful ways. Search us, oh God, and know our hearts. And see if there be any wicked way in me. Take me away from that wicked way, Father. Help me walk in your path, in the path of light, and the path of righteousness. Father, heal us. Work on our hearts. Humble us, Lord. Help us walk humbly with one another and support one another in love. Thank you, Father, for your word. Help us be wise, not fools or evil, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
You give life, you are So we pour out our praise to you only. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Hey, we're so glad you guys worshiped with us today. Remember, if you show up here next week at 10:30, there's no one else going to be here, just be you. We'll be out at the park at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then right after that, we have baptisms, and then we'll have the cookout again. So remember, we'll provide the meat. You guys provide a side. We'll put it out on the table. It'll be a great time. And then Saturday night is Rocks the Park. And it's a fun time. It'll be great. And hopefully according to the weather, which changes every like 4.5 seconds, because apparently it wasn't gonna rain yesterday, and well, we all see how that one went. It's supposed to be a good weekend. It'll be fun. Shouldn't be too hot and humid, and so hopefully we'll see you, a friend, and a lawn chair that you can sit in on Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And like we said before, we could use help setting up on Friday, and if you got arms and legs and a couple of muscles, we'd love to have you out there at 6 o'clock. We love you guys. We'll see you next week at the park.